up, he's a celebrity columnist for the Las Vegas Review-Journal, been voted best print journalist by the RJ Readers Poll in 2013 and 2014, and he's got 2 pages of cool stuff to say. He's also the 2015 recipient of the Denver Press Club's prestigious Damon Runyon Award, as well as receiving the Vegas Dozen Award from Saks Fifth Avenue last April. Please, ladies and gentlemen, give a warm welcome for Norm Clark. And now, please help me welcome legendary comedian Mr. Shecky Greene, escorted by the beautiful Miss Mary Lane.
Isn't that lovely? Viva sognare in cuore la mare del cielo, guardi era il malo tutto facendo cazzo. No comedy today, just singing. That's what I've always wanted my own room like this, so I can just sing. Norman, it's good to see you. This is a big surprise. I haven't seen this many people in many, many years. That's one of the reasons why I do not work here anymore. I haven't seen that many people in many, many years. It's very nice to be back in Las Vegas. I just moved back. I live in Green Valley now, and I moved back here not because I really love Las Vegas, excuse me, but there's a veterinarian here. And my dog will only go to him. Dr. James Nave. Anybody know Dr. Nave? Yes. Nobody greater. Doc, are you here? That's what my horses did today, too. They woofed. We got a lot of people, friends of mine from the racetrack, and they're not here because we're friends from the racetrack. I owe them money from the racetrack. Yes, it's certainly a pleasure. Norm, thank you for inviting me.
Shecky, an honor.
I looked all over. I went to Smoot's Food King instead of this, instead of the Smith Center. And 2.99 stores before I came. Marty, how are you? There's Marty Allen, ladies and gentlemen. Marty and I are friends from way, way, way back. And I had 2 poodles, and a sister and a brother, and they got together and they had poodles. So I cannot tell you how 2 poodles that come from the same family can make the ugliest poodle you've ever seen. And I was in Pittsburgh, and I gave that poodle to his mother. And right or wrong, and your mother never talked to me again. It was a Friday night, everybody else was eating, and she took my chicken soup away. I'll never forget that. And the 2 balls that were in there, too. She says, I'm gonna tell you, you'll never get 2 balls again. You had enough balls to give me that ugly dog. So what are we gonna do, Norm? Are we gonna talk about things?
Sit down and enjoy yourself for a minute, and I'm going to thank everybody for coming.
Well, are you going to thank him for
Sing
coming?
if you want, but...
Well, I was going to sing, so I was going to getting to know you, getting to know all about you, getting to hope you like my show. All of a sudden I'm bright. I just got that feeling of singing because I haven't worked in so long. And the last one I worked with was Sammy Davis, and then I met Norm. What?
What's the joke about you?
Oh, I got to tell you about this. That's a fact about this. We were going to lunch one time. Buddy Hackett, they talked on this side. Buddy Hackett talked like this. Hey, Shecky, we're going to go to lunch. He talked, and Sammy Davis had one eye, and January was limping and everything else. And we were going to lunch, and people thought it was a telethon. got to tell you one cute story about Sammy Davis, because I worked with Sammy Davis. After I worked with Sinatra, excuse me. This is better than the shit we rehearsed, I'll tell you what. I gotta tell you, I worked with Sammy Davis at the MGM Grand. And I take a note, this is a true story. Now, I headlined the MGM and everything. Now, they said, will you come back with Sammy Davis and do a show? And I was honored because Sammy Davis is such a brilliant, wonderful talent. So I was rehearsing a song, I was going, whatever song it was. You have no idea the way I feel about you. Each time I kiss you, I get such a thrill, or whatever it was. And he came up and he said, hey, man, I hate to tell you this, man, but that's my song. I said, Sammy, you sing 120,000 friggin' songs. And you want that song back? Yeah, man, that's my song. Frank told me you're gonna be tough to work with. Frank was a little tough to work with too. He saved my life in 1967 in front of the Fontainebleau Hotel. Frank Sinatra. 5 guys were beating me up and I heard Frank say, that's enough. I'm doing this because I'm thinking of the next joke right now.
Actually, while you're thinking of the next joke, we've got some people here that would like to say hello to you.
Okay, that's fine.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Mayor Carolyn Goodman.
Oh, my God. I kiss the mayor, I kiss the mayor.
Wait, I got my side.
Hey, there's the other mayor.
This is such a special day for us.
Oh, can I tell you something? I met these
No,
people when they first came to town. What year?
Oh, that's okay. 1964, I got a job in advertising, publicity, and marketing at the Rib. And Oscar and I saw your show every single night in the lounge. You were the funniest thing I ever saw in my life.
You were the only 2 people in the lounge.
No way! And you loved your left
closed.
leg. You kept saying, I love you leg.
I used to do a Harry Belafonte routine.
Is that what that was?
Yes, Harry Belafonte. I love your leg. I love you so. How much I love it. You'll never know. I hate this leg. It's always broken. But what a thrill for me to be standing on the same stage right now.
And a former neighbor.
Yes.
You lived in our neighborhood
Yes.
for many years.
And Ranch, that was what?
Scotch 80s.
Scotch 80s. And Steve Wynn was my neighbor also.
well,
And he
further
bought a
away.
hotel or 2 or 3 or 4 or 10 or 12. Now he's going to buy the court because his wife is in it. How about that,
Norm, we don't want to take up your show, man. You are the best. And does he look good? He looks good for 50. Let me tell you. You're a hunk. All right, but I'm going to get on with that. Oscar said don't read it. Do you want me to read it?
Please
I have
read
a
it.
problem.
Please read it. I'll have to do less then. That's good.
Okay, 2 things. We have 2 things.
Okay.
Proclamation from the office of the mayor, where Shecky Greene, I hate to say this, was born in 1926, and obviously is celebrating his 90th birthday this year.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait.
Is that wrong?
I gotta look over now.
All right, now wait a minute. Where Shecky Greene, an American comedian, is known for his nightclub performances in Las Vegas, where he has been a headliner for more than 30 years.
Yes.
And where Shecky Greene appeared in several films, including Tony Rome, History of the World Part 1,
Yes.
Splash,
Well, Splash, I was almost in Splash. I was a splish and splash.
and has guest starred on such television shows as Mad About You, Laverne and Shirley, Love American Style,
Yes.
Combat.
Combat was yes.
Yes,
Yes,
okay.
I was a regular on that series. But they used real bullets one week and got rid of me.
And
Oh, I like that. That's good.
whereas off stage, Shecky's main passion has been following the horses.
Go follow other horses. I had a horse come up to the grandstand one day. I said, which way they go?
He's a degenerate.
Oh, yeah.
There's a thoroughbred horse named Shecky
There
Greene,
was.
and it was a front runner for 7 furlongs.
No, a mile. In the Kentucky Derby, it was a mile. Give my horse another couple of furlongs.
In 1973 Kentucky Derby until Secretariat ran off with the race, right?
Yes.
Your horse was in there.
Yeah, my horse. I went to England and everybody thought, they said to me, you know something, we never knew you were a human being. We thought you were a horse. They wanted to talk to me.
But now there's another Shecky Greene running. Or is it an Arlington Park in Illinois still runs the Shecky Greene handicap.
Yes, that's my hometown.
Beautiful.
Can I tell you one story before you finish that? I went to do the Sullivan Show, And speaking of Sullivan, Marty Allen was on the show the first time the Beatles worked there. Am I right or wrong? Stand up. Tell them about that. Is that right?
1964.
When they came to town, everything was 1964.
It's a wonderful year.
Wonderful year. Yeah, that's when 1964 he was with the Beatles. Should have stayed with them. What's the matter with him? You didn't think they were going any place, right?
We look too much alike.
The hair, right.
Okay, so therefore,
No, I gotta finish my story first. If you've been here since 1964,
Yes.
you can wait a little bit. I go to do the Sullivan Show, and Ed Sullivan says to me, he hated me anyway. It's Shecky, I want to see you right here on this stage. I want you to come up here. I said, okay, Ed. And I went up. I said, what is it? Shecky Greene is the biggest thing in Miami Beach. I said, it's wonderful. I said, because I haven't played there too. Not you, you schmuck. The dog. Somebody named the dog after Shecky Greene, and he thought I was the dog this place. Well, I wish we would have stopped with the Beatles.
all right, they don't want to hear from us, and I also have something really special, and then Oscar wants to drink with you.
Oh.
So anyway, therefore,
Wait a minute. Oscar really wants a drink with me? You know my
Sorry, I
reputation?
said that. Yes.
I had my own cell downtown.
And it is still padded, and it is still there, and I have the key.
It pays to make friends.
Forget that one. The key to the jail for Shecky Greene is
Is that wonderful? Where were you 20 years ago?
You know what? We had a good time. You didn't even recognize me then.
Oh, that's right. I didn't recognize too many people.
All right, but this really is.
I'll tell you how drunk I was when I finished work at the Sahara and found out I should have been at the Riviera.
Now, that really isn't the key to the town itself. It is the key to the city. We think you're so fabulous. Oscar, as you know, did 12 years, wanted to stay on as mayor forever, but then he found what you found, loves his stuff. I'm going to give him the mic. But I want to tell everybody that's here that loves you, and those that are not here that love you.
Thank you.
Today is Shecky Greene Day in the city. I'll hold it.
We've been married almost 55 years. I'm not going to give this to her. I mean, I know what's right in life. Shecky, you're the greatest.
I thank you.
The greatest the town has ever known.
Oh.
From every perspective, you're the only guy I knew who was able to lift up pool tables.
They claimed that I did that. They claimed that I said.
I saw you do it. It's amazing. He lifted up a pool table with one hand.
Not the pool table, the crap table.
Oh, it's a crap. You're right. Everybody raise your
Can I
glass.
have another drink at the pool table? Go ahead.
To Shecky Greene, the greatest. May you live another 20 years.
Give me a kiss, Oscar. Now we go to North Carolina and be in the toilet. How about that? What do you think, being in politics, what do you think about that? About the people who can't go to the toilet? That the man and a woman, the guy is sissing and a girl is sitting next to him. What is that? It's America. I guess I'm going to thank you.
Thank you, Darren.
Bye, Oscar.
Thank you, Oscar.
Oh, I got a ticket you can fix. Can I tell you, I didn't think I'd really enjoy this like this, but I really am enjoying it. After this is all over, I'm going to give you my address. You all come to my house and we'll finish this. Go ahead, Norm, it's your turn. Was geschrieben auf in der Rapperstutz? All right, fire on. Was geschrieben auf
Shecky, you were talking in the dressing room.
I get Norm very
Hello?
nervous.
Is it on? Sorry about that.
No, let me tell them before you say that. Before you all came in, I got to straighten this out because this was a terrible thing that happened. They were telling me about something they're going to do later on, you know? And as only Shecky Greene can get crazy, you know, because I'm a manic depressive and my mania came in on this particular thing. So I was screaming before, right?
No, you weren't.
What do you mean I wasn't? 3 people quit. And they didn't work here. So consequently, I was screaming and everything else, and I boom, boom, boom. And I was watching Norm. Norm never said a word. He was just very quiet. And I said, I'm sorry, and I said, about what? And I thought, that's the nicest man that I ever sat down with. And I just want to tell you that I'm all fine now because I took my pills. With a glass of Avian, I took my 2 pills and everything is fine.
Have any extra?
No, you don't want Lexapro. Did you ever take Lexapro? No. See how I'm sitting nice down in the chair? Yeah. Wait till the Lexapro works and I'll be starting to get up just but it's fine.
Well, you were talking about that your career really started in New Orleans.
Well, I've worked many places before. I worked at a place called the Cuban Village in Chicago. You know, first of all, I started at a place called Oakton Manor in Pewaukee Lake. I was going. Are you from the lake?
Yes.
Sammy Shore, you worked with.
No.
right?
Well, I'm just about to get into this. You know, and at 90, that's about the only thing I can get into. Oh, there's lots of schmutzig minds out there. Anyway, I was going to college at that time, and there were some people wanted to go to this place, Oakton Manor, and I went there, and they had a boy that was working. There was a social director and also the comedian, Sammy Shore. So I told jokes in those days, just from high school and everything. So they said, get up on the stage, and I got up, and I did a few things, and the people laughed, and the owner said to me, would you like to work here? You and Sammy team up, and you become a team, and you work up here, you know? So Sammy Shore and I became a team. And it was the few months that we had together were wonderful. They really were.
How much did you get paid, Shecky?
I think we got $20. Was it 20? Huh?
21.
21. You were getting more than me. I never knew that. How do you like that son of a bitch? So anyway, Sammy and I left there. There was a lady that wanted to sign us up and everything. So we left there and we went to New York and we were at the Wellington Hotel. And I got sick. I got infectious mononucleosis and I was in bed. And I said to Sammy, get me water. And Sammy says to me, no, Sheldon. He said, no, I don't want to come near you. He says, because a friend of mine had scarlet fever and I caught it once. And that was the end of our relationship. That glass of water broke us up. Now Sammy goes to work. And Sammy goes to work in a place in New Orleans called the Preview Lounge. And he's doing big, very big over there. And I was in show business at that time after Sammy, and I got a partner, and I broke up and everything. And then I went back to college, you know, I went back to Wright Junior College. And I stayed at Wright until I sold my last book. Because from the GI, you can buy books, and then you sell them back. So I went into the bookstore one day, and I said, how much is that big, big book? She said, it's a geology book. I said, yeah, I want that. If I bring it back, how much would I get? She said, $14. She said, but they don't teach geology in Wright Junior College. I said, but I want that book anyway. So I bought that book, and I brought it back the next day and got the $14, and I didn't go to school anymore. Because I was outbooked. So now, Sammy's working at this place, and somebody calls me, an agent, and he says, would you like to go down to New Orleans? Well, Sammy was working there, and he was leaving, and then I followed Sammy in. And basically, we worked a lot alike. We did a lot of Jewish shtick. I don't do that anymore. I became altogether a Gentile act. Anyway, I want to tell you, so now I follow Sammy in, and the orchestra leader was Al Hurt. Remember Sam? And Al taught school in the morning, and he had a radio show. He had 8 kids, Al, and it really broke his heart. And anyway, I went to work after Sammy, and Sammy's the one that said to them, if you want a comedian, get Shecky Greene. So I went into this place, and I stayed a long time, and then the guy gave me 15% of the place, and I got my salary plus 15%, and I had Al as my orchestra and everything else, and everything, but then we burned down, and very successfully, because the owners, I'll never forget, as long as I was going like this, and I said, what happened? He said, that goddamn match. Sam, it was Bill Gruber, you remember? He was a state senator at that time. And anybody here from New Orleans? No. That's how good I did in New Orleans. Everybody talk like this in New Orleans. Yes, I want to tell you, man, everything is fine. And you know why they talk that way? Because when they're bored, they don't hit him in the ass, they hit him in the throat. You know? So now, from this place it burned down, and are you sorry you asked me this? And now, after it burned down, I get a call from an agent, and he says to me, would you like to go to Reno? And I went to work in Reno. I went to, not knowing I went for the boys. Now, we all know, the people that lived there in Las Vegas, we had boys. They were never called men, you know? Hey, I'll tell you the truth, I wait for the boys, you know? So I came to work in Reno, and I got very lucky in Reno. They signed me to a 3-year contract, these boys. And then I said to them, I'm going up, I met a girl in Reno, she dealt cards. And she dealt cards very funny. She dealt them, she wouldn't take them from the top, this girl. I should have known right away that was not the right girl for me. And especially when she said to me one day, we were only married a week, and she said to me, we were buying some, she said, Jew 'em down. Do you know what that means to an Orthodox Jew when somebody says, Jew 'em down? So now, I married this girl, and I get the call to work in Las Vegas. And now I take a note on my mother. Mom, is it all right to take another oath? I know she's looking down. She's the only one that ever wanted me in show business. My mother used to say to me, listen, I want to tell you something. Why do you tell people I talk with an accent? I said, Mom, do you know the kind of money I make telling people you talk with an accent? She's, what kind of money? And I told her, she's listening, I'm going to say one other thing. So now, I cancel out the job in Las Vegas. I don't want to come here, I'm frightened to death of Las Vegas. And I said, no, I don't want Las Vegas. So she, and I take an oath to God, what I tell is a true story. My wife is listening off stage, and she's going to hate me for this. Walk her out, I'll wait. She had a boyfriend in town, my first wife. And now she wanted me to come to Las Vegas, but I didn't know about the boyfriend. And she kept on telling me, no, you're going to Las Vegas, and you're going to Las Vegas. And I came to Las Vegas to work the Last Frontier Hotel. She disappeared for 3 days. But I was going over so well, I didn't care. She called me and I said, listen, I'm going over good, stay with them another couple of days. I didn't know I was this good, This stuff was not bad.
Better than rehearsal.
Yes, it is. Advocate. Now, so now I get lucky at the last one. They had a guy by the name of Jake Kozlov was the owner. He was partners with Bill. Anybody remember this? He was I don't think anybody's living from that time. I'm the only one left, for God's sakes. Tony Spalato. I took over. Okay. So now they signed me to another because I was with Dorothy Shea. Now, does anybody remember Dorothy Shea sang? It was a New York hillbilly. They called her the Park Avenue Hillbilly. Dorothy Shea. We stayed 4 weeks, and then they said, "We want you to stay over." Now, I had no act in those days like this. I had absolutely no act in those days. And so they wanted me to hold over with Xavier Cugat. Now Xavier Cugat comes, and I'm working with Xavier Cugat, and I get drunk on a New Year's Eve, and I never had a drink till I came to this town. First drink I ever had was in this town, and the gambling in this town. I have wonderful memories of this town. I had unbelievable gambling and alimony was my destruction. How many people do you know that paid 47 years of alimony? And the girl that died 45 years afterwards, and I still paid 2 years after she died. The guy kept on coming, and said, paid the money, So anyway, although I lost the audience over that. So now, they hold me over for Xavier Cugat, and it's New Year's Eve, and I'm drunk out of my mind, and they book Mickey Shaughnessy. Mickey Shaughnessy was a very funny comedian and a wonderful man, and he was standing there going to work, ready to go to work, when I jumped on the stage. And I worked through, I wouldn't let him work, I worked through the 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. And the people never complained about it. And Ralph Pearl wrote it up. Ralph Pearl was a little Jewish guy that wrote an article, same article every week. He never went to a show to see anything, so he wrote about the same people. Same Joey Lewis and Sophie Tucker, that's all they ever did. So, I like that. Now they hold me over for another show with Patty Andrews. And Patty Andrews comes in, and she's alone. She's not with the two sisters. And we work together, and then her sister got very sick, went to commit suicide, so then she left, and I headlined the show. Headline for the first time. Not that it meant anything in those days. Because if you people remember, we didn't have these magnificent big shows with the tzitskis sticking out. Do you know what tzitskis are? Well, I remember when I went with one of these girls from the show, and they took silicone shots, these girls, and I chipped a tooth when I went with this girl. And my dentist said to me, "Are you still going with Gloria?" No. Are you enjoying any of this? What I'm trying to say, Normie, is that I was held over, and my salary went, I think I went from $1,570 to about $2,500, And then I was signed by the Riviera and the New Frontier, because the last Frontier closed, and I was signed by these places, and after working the New Frontier for a while, they couldn't fulfill my contract. Now this is really the beginning of Shecky Greene's career. They couldn't fulfill my contract. I can think I'm listening. I know where I make the mistakes. So we were walking through the Riviera Hotel. Sammy Lewis, who was a booker, and we were walking through the hotel, and he says, "We have no place for you." Well, I was living in Beverly Hills at that time, and you people know that Beverly Hills was kind of, not that I wanted it, but my ex-wife wanted to live in Beverly Hills. They had better bars there. So, anyway. So we're walking through, and I said, "I'll work there." He said, "That's the lounge."